Welcome back. So today we're finishing up our series of videos about Da Nang, Vietnam, and the time we spent there, which was almost 2 months. And we stayed in a couple of hotels, but primarily we stayed in one hotel, the Da Nang Crowne Plaza City Center, which we did an entire video about. So this video is all about the budget over the amount of time we spent there and why we called Da Nang the #1 city and that hotel the #1 hotel that we've stayed in.
I really recommend to see that one because and then you're going to understand
Exactly
why we stayed that long in one hotel.
Yeah, and had the weather cooperated more, we might have stayed a lot longer. So amazing hotel. Just to summarize, it is a business hotel. It's in the city center, hence the name, and it's by the river, which is where the Dragon Bridge is, and it's not too far from the beach. It's not a beachfront hotel, but it is the best value hotel we have stayed in, period, around the world. Now, one of the main reasons you want to stay in a hotel like this is because it is a Crowne Plaza that has a lounge. And the lounge is spectacular. Again, go watch the video, but we didn't feel like we needed to eat food out anytime. The breakfast was amazing, but so was the rest of the food.
Yeah. And if you watch the other videos, you're going to understand why we're saying this.
Yes. Since I run the budget, I'm going to run you through the numbers in detail. So the first thing you probably want to know is, well, what if I just want to pay cash? You can, but as we've told you before, you don't want to do that with IHG. But for comparison's sake, we want to know what the value is of our points. Cash rates in this hotel range generally from $80 to $100 a night. For a regular room, you can expect to pay that unless you're there for a holiday or some high season event. It can go up from there, but generally for a regular king size or two twin bedroom, that's it. So if we take the average of around $90 a night, 38 nights that we spent there, that's about $3,500 in cash, give or take a few dollars. So that's kind of the round number we're using for value. Again, not including any upgrades, not even talking about the lounge access. That's just for the room. We would have spent $3,500 in cash. Now, again, do not use cash almost ever with IHG. No matter the bonuses, no matter the specials, you still get credit for the night, even if you use points. So why wouldn't you just buy the points if it's going to save you money? In this case, we needed 350,000 points to stay those 38 nights. That costs us, because we do that during the buy one, get one free sale. We purchase those points at a penny a piece. So we need to buy 175,000 points and then get 175,000 as the bonus. So again, it's a penny per point. 175,000 points means you're going to spend $1,750. Well, geez, the math works really easy for that one. That is half the price of the cash rate. It's kind of why I use that average number. Makes the math really easy, but you can see. So basically for half the price of paying cash, we're able to book using points that we purchase. We're still spending money. We're just spending half as much. And we're getting the same room regardless of our status. You do not need to have the credit card. You don't have to have any status to buy the points and book the rooms. Now, the extreme value comes from having the status and the lounge. So if you look at the average, 38 nights, 350,000 points, that's 9,200 points per night. Since we paid a half a penny a point during the buy one, get one free point sale, that means we paid $46 in cash for 9,200 points to book each night in the hotel on average. Amazing value. You find a hotel for $46 a night that has anything close to the luxury in there that you saw in the last video, go for it. So you can see why we love this hotel, why we recommend it highly, because for less than $50 a night, you can stay in a luxury property in a great location close to most everything. You're just not beachfront in Da Nang, so unless that's your most important thing, we highly recommend at least spending part of your trip there because it's an exceptional hotel. And then if you have status with IHG, you can get a better room, you can get, especially lounge access, it will completely change the value of the budget. Now, in a future video, I will be talking specifically about some of these tricks within the IHG portfolio, some of the extra benefits and awards you can get. Look for that coming soon. But as we mentioned earlier, highly recommend you go back and watch the hotel review video for this hotel. Make sure it's something you'd be interested in. But honestly, all the people we met there who were staying there from around the world, who travel all the time, who stay in IHGs, it was one of their favorite hotels too. So when we get into the specific numbers for what we spent during those 38 days, don't worry, I'll put them up on the screen for you. As I said, we spent $1,750 to buy those points to stay all 38 nights. As for food, as I said, we ate mostly inside, in the lounge. Therefore, we only needed to spend $230 outside. That's less than $7 per day for the additional food. And as I said, almost all of it was just discretionary. I mean, that includes buying a water or a smoothie or whatever while we're walking around, and any meals we ate out. Thankfully, Vietnam is very inexpensive, even if you choose to eat out. For everything else, and I didn't want to go into all of the detailed categories I track, but that's medical and cell phones and transportation, which over there is really just grabbing an Uber, which over there is called Grab. So grabbing a Grab to get around the city, and a few other minor things that we bought. That was $844 for all 38 days. So that's $22 a day that we spent on pretty much everything else. So you can see that's pretty inexpensive. That's one of the reasons we love Vietnam. So for a total, for those 38 nights that we stayed in the hotel, it was $2,854, which is basically $75 a day. That's everything we spend except our insurance and like our Netflix. That's an impressive number. We have a budget of $4,000, which means we try to stay at about $125 a month, $125 per day for the time that we're there, and we're at 75. So you can do the numbers. It's 40% off. Pretty good. So by comparison, we did spend 13 nights in other hotels, apartments in the area, including one at the beach. So we did not splurge when we were there, even though we got a nice hotel. It was nothing like the Crowne Plaza. It was a beachfront hotel, and that was why we paid more than we spent in the Crowne Plaza. So we had 11 nights in this beachfront hotel, then 2 nights in a little boutique hotel down in Hoi An. But for those 13 nights, we spent $665 or $51 a night. Not bad, but none of them were of the caliber of the Crowne Plaza in any way. On top of that, we had to eat out. We only got our meals for the 2 nights in the boutique hotel. We got our breakfast. Other than that, we had to either make breakfast or go out to eat. So we spent $512, which is $39 a day. So, which is really pretty good for Vietnam, for us eating. And you can see why we use the $40 a day number in the Crowne Plaza, because that's about what we're spending out. Now, I gotta say, we ate and drank a lot better in the Crowne Plaza than we did when we were having to pay for stuff with cash out of pocket. So for everything else, we spent $363, which is $28 a day, which is a little more than we spent when we were at the hotel, probably just because we had to grab extra Cokes or something like that. But you can see like the everything else category is fairly consistent across our whole stay in Da Nang. So the total for just those 13 days was $1,540. So $118 a day. You can see we're basically on budget to stay in Da Nang on a pretty tight budget on those days. Whereas we were way under, 40% under budget to stay in the Crowne Plaza because we have lounge access. That's why we wanted to show you the side-by-side comparison, because there's really not a comparison. If you have the opportunity to stay in budget, but add luxury and stay in these kind of hotels, especially with the lounges, you can actually cut your budget. You can cut your spending and get treated so much better. And for those of you who are thinking about going to Da Nang next year in 2026, if you're booking out past the Tet holidays, the end of January and kind of February timeframe for other activities, you start getting into the springtime, the March, April, May, you're seeing rates under $65, $70 a night. But you got to book them soon because they will start filling up and the rates will go up. But again, we don't say use cash. There's still 9,000 to 10,000 points a night. So again, $45 to $50 a night. And they'll allow you to buy up to 200, 250, 300,000 points, depending on the time of the year and what their special is going on. If you're going to be traveling, you're going to use these points. You might as well just stock up and take advantage of it, at least by the end of the year. Now, they do this every couple of months, so you don't have to do it all in January like we did. Just wait, buy them when you're going to use them, because there's no reason to spend cash in January if you're not traveling until August. So now you can see by those numbers why we feel Da Nang is not only one of the best cities, but also that hotel is the best place for retirees and expats and even some digital nomads who want to spend some time in a comfortable place to work. You really can't argue. I mean, less than $50 a night for all your food and a luxurious hotel. And now another trick for you is when you want lounge access, but you don't have those 40 nights in the calendar year to have that perk yet, you can actually pay for it. Now, you can book a cash rate that includes it, but that's a lot of cash. We prefer to actually book with points, and then many of these hotels will allow you to buy your way into the lounge. It's kind of like buying a lounge pass at an airport lounge. Mm-hmm. Just get a day pass, but you can book it for the whole time. In this particular hotel, I believe they were charging $50 a night for the room, which for 2 people, really by the time you add up all the numbers of what you'd spend for breakfast, etc., it's worth it.
Yes, it is worth it. It's going to save you a lot of money.
Yep.
So if you really enjoyed this video, please give us a like and subscribe.
Yep.
And leave your comments.
Yep.
We want to hear from you. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer those.
Absolutely. So again, thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoy it. Look forward to you in the next one. Take care.
Bye.
Happy travels.